Welcome back, dear Leo, to your astrological forecast for today, March 18, 2025. I'm Luna Celestine, and as always, we're stepping together into the serene space of astrology, tuning into the subtle movements of the sky and listening closely to the whispers the universe gently sends along your path. As a Leo, you carry the natural radiance of the sun, your ruling planet. And today that light is calling for a clearer sense of direction amidst subtle shifts occurring beneath the surface. The sky today is not just a collection of planetary events, it's an intricate weaving of inner emotions, action impulses, and an invitation to return to your most authentic essence. I want you to receive this forecast not merely as a predictive message, but as a mirror, reflecting what's unfolding within you, the things you may have sensed but haven't yet named. Each planetary placement today carries a layer of meaning especially for you in your work, relationships, and personal choices, and we'll move through each one together, gently unraveling their messages. So give yourself a moment of stillness, a quiet space where you can truly receive what lies behind the cosmic movements. Let's begin with an overview of today's planetary energies that are especially resonant for you. The Sun, your ruling planet, is nearing the end of its journey through Pisces, bringing a wave of energy that runs deeper than usual. For an expressive, outward-oriented sign like you, this may feel unfamiliar, but I want you to know that the sensitivity you're feeling right now is not a weakness. It's a gateway, a door opening to a type of emotional intelligence that you often bypass in the rush of life. When the Sun is in Pisces, inner energy becomes more apparent than external drive. You might notice yourself being more affected by other people's emotions, or even feeling a bit unclear about your own direction. But this doesn't mean you're lost. On the contrary, this is a precious moment for you to turn inward and acknowledge desires you haven't previously dared to voice. It could be an old dream, a career calling, or simply the yearning to live more truthfully, more soulful. Meanwhile, Mercury moving through Aries brings a completely different current. Sharp, assertive, and ready to make decisions. Your mind may feel clearer, ideas may come fast and strong. This creates an intriguing contrast. While your heart is calling for stillness, your intellect urges you to act. This is the very balance you're being asked to cultivate today. Before making any decision, ask yourself, am I reacting out of habit or acting from deep inner knowing? When you harmonize your emotions with your intellect, your dreams with your decisiveness, you'll step into the next part of your journey with a renewed sense of strength. And from that center of clarity, all areas of your life, work, finances, relationships, will begin to mirror the transformation you're nurturing from within. There's also a powerful trine forming between Mars and Sagittarius and your Leo energy, a vibrant connection that fuels your motivation and activates a clear sense of purpose. This is one of those rare alignments where you can feel the energy in your very body, a driving force urging not just to begin, but to move forward with the boldness and confidence that are inherently yours. If you've been feeling like you've been waiting for something to begin, or uncertain about which direction to take in your career, today marks a pivotal turning point. Mars in Sagittarius is not only igniting your desire to broaden your horizons, but also pushing you to take purposeful action. The plans you've been contemplating for a while now deserve to be brought into the light. Even if it's just the first step. Don't wait for perfection. Today's energy isn't meant for delay. It encourages you to act from confidence and conviction. In work conversations, you'll find yourself speaking more clearly and persuasively. Mercury in Aries supports sharp ideas, quick problem-solving, and fast decision-making. If you need to present a project, propose a collaboration, or negotiate a new agreement, this is a moment worth seizing. When it comes to finances, this is not the time for ambiguity or reckless risks. It's a time to harness the clarity Mercury is offering. Take a close look at how you're managing your resources. Is there an investment that needs restructuring? Is there an income opportunity you've been overlooking? These are questions that call for honest reflection, because often, wealth doesn't come from doing more, it comes from seeing clearly and daring to make a strategic shift. This is also a time to separate emotion from financial decision-making. What you do today could lay the foundation for stable and expanding income streams ahead. And once you begin to gain clarity around your career path and financial foundation, you'll see how that inner sense of agency becomes the root of every relationship and emotional experience that follows. Confidence in action is always an attractive energy, not just in business, but in love as well. The moon is gently passing through Cancer today, carrying a wave of deep and tender emotion. For you, a bold, confident, and expressive Leo, this softness may make you feel more sensitive in your relationships, but don't rush to dismiss the emotions rising within you. This is a beautiful time to slow down and truly listen to what your heart is craving. In close relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships, you may notice a shift. Deep conversations, moments of quiet connection, or simply the comforting presence of a loved one, these can bring a sense of safety and closeness that you may have been missing. And perhaps you'll come to see that your strength isn't only in how brightly you shine, but also in how you create space for others to feel understood and secure around you. If you're single, the gentle yet surprising alignment of Venus with Uranus is opening an intriguing door. You may encounter someone in an unexpected place, a fated meeting disguised in the most ordinary details. Embrace it with openness, because true connections rarely arrive in the ways we expect. This is also a good time to ask yourself, what kind of relationship am I truly seeking? A deep connection requires both people to open up, but it also requires you to be honest about your own emotional needs. Connection cannot thrive if you're only giving or only waiting to receive. Today, as emotional energy expands, use it to nourish the relationships that truly matter and release those that exist only out of habit. The inner balance you're cultivating through your work and finances is inseparable from your personal emotions. As you begin to build relationships rooted in sincerity and mutual understanding, you'll notice the world around you shifting as well, becoming gentler, more intimate, and more aligned with your truest self than ever before. And from that foundation of connection, you'll gain even greater strength to care for yourself. Not just outwardly, but from within. That's what we now move into in the next part of your journey. The influence of the moon in Cancer is affecting more than just your emotions and relationships. It's subtly weaving into the way you feel in your body. You might notice a slight fatigue, not necessarily physical in nature, but deeply present in your mood, a soft heaviness, or a quiet, unnameable melancholy. This is entirely natural when lunar energy merges with Cancer's profound emotional essence. For you, a Leo, accustomed to dynamism, extroversion, and abundant energy, this stillness may feel unfamiliar. But don't rush to get past it. Instead, I invite you to simply observe and listen to your body. Sometimes, that vague or heavy emotional state is your body's gentle way of signaling that it needs deeper rest or reconnection with nourishing, restorative practices. Allow space for healing, not by pushing yourself to maintain high performance, but by returning to simple, yet soul-enriching habits. A short morning meditation, a quiet walk in nature, or simply turning off all devices for a few hours of genuine stillness. These moments may seem small, but they hold immense power in calming your nervous system and restoring inner balance. Don't underestimate the importance of nutrition and sleep during this time. When the moon stirs deep emotional waters, your digestive system and biological rhythms can be affected too. Choosing lighter, nourishing foods and maintaining a consistent rest schedule will help reset your natural rhythm. This isn't just about physical health, it's about rebuilding the relationship you have with your own being, and I want to remind you of this. True health is not merely the absence of illness, it's the state of feeling truly present in your body, safe, calm, and vibrantly alive. When you learn to slow down and listen to the subtle shifts within, you're also reinforcing the foundation that will carry you forward more steadily in every other area of life. Because only when you are truly well within can you step into the world with your authentic radiance, not through external dazzle, but through a quiet, magnetic stability. And from this state, your relationships, family, social, and even your surroundings will begin to resonate and grow in harmony with the new frequency you are emitting. There are days when the sky appears uneventful, no dramatic alignments, no planetary shifts, but it's precisely in such stillness that something significant begins to stir quietly beneath the surface. And today is one of those days. A deep inner transition is taking place. Not loud, not showy, but powerful enough to change how you feel about yourself and the path you're on. Listen closely to this. When the outer world is calm, it's not stagnation. It's the sacred pause the universe creates so you can hear your own voice more clearly. Inside you, a quiet awakening might be unfolding. Not a sudden epiphany, but a slow, steady expansion of awareness. A part of you is maturing, realizing that it's time to reorient your direction and live more in alignment with what truly holds meaning. This shift doesn't need to be a dramatic decision or a clear turning point. Sometimes it's simply saying no to what no longer resonates, or saying yes to things you've long desired but previously feared being judged for. And if you feel a subtle inner tension between what you think you should do and what you deeply want, that's a sign you're standing at the threshold of inner growth. As a Leo, you carry the energy of light, expression, and leadership. But today, the universe isn't asking you to perform or shine outwardly. It's inviting you to turn inward, to re-examine your core values and ensure that every step you take from here is guided not by a need for recognition, but by a solid trust in your unique path. Self-acceptance of both the parts you celebrate and the parts you're still learning to love is the beginning of a new cycle. And when you begin to live in alignment with that truth, the world around you will begin to reorganize itself according to the new frequency you emit. Opportunities will arrive at the right time, the right people will appear, and life will feel lighter, not because you're doing less, but because you're finally moving in the right direction. I encourage you to take a few minutes at the end of today just to sit with yourself. No need to do anything, just be present. Just ask, am I living in alignment with the most honest part of myself? And if the answer is no, that's not a failure, it's a loving invitation to begin again, gently but deeply, because when you start from your inner truth, everything else naturally falls into place. And your path of growth will continue, not in haste, but in steady, mindful steps. And if you listen even more deeply, you'll notice something we often forget. Not every step forward in life needs validation from the outside. The most meaningful transformations often happen in silence, when you start asking different questions, when something familiar no longer feels right, or when things you once longed for no longer move your heart. This is a time to ask yourself, what in my current life truly comes from my soul, and what is merely a reaction to others' expectations? The answer may not arrive instantly, but the act of asking truthfully becomes the foundation for a stronger, clearer version of yourself in the days to come. The universe is not demanding change from you today. It's planting seeds of awareness, just enough for you to begin feeling that you can no longer live by old patterns without losing something more precious, your inner freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever you want at any time, but the freedom to choose what deeply supports your evolution. You might be in a place right now where everything looks fine on the outside. Your job is stable, your relationships are steady, nothing seems turbulent. But that's exactly why you need to tune in more attentively to the subtle vibrations within. Perhaps the change you need now doesn't come from doing more or starting something new, but simply from shifting how you show up for what already exists, working with greater purpose, loving with fuller presence, listening with deeper stillness. Today is not a day to prove anything. It's a day to return to your center, strengthen your inner foundation, and prepare for your next steps with greater maturity and clarity. Because when your inner ground is solid, you no longer need to seek certainty elsewhere. And tomorrow, as the planetary cycles continue to turn, you'll realize that true change doesn't lie in your circumstances. It lies in how you walk through them as a deeper, wiser, more grounded version of yourself. And, as with every astrological journey, we don't end with a full stop, but with a quiet reminder. You don't need to become anyone else. You just need to return to the most authentic version of yourself. The universe doesn't ask for perfection. It only asks that you show up with honesty in every choice, every feeling, and every step you take. Today, if you can simply slow down one heartbeat and listen a little deeper, that's already enough to begin meaningful transformation. And remember, every movement in your outer world, career, finances, relationships, ultimately reflects how deeply you understand, care for, and honor yourself. Thank you for taking this time to tune in with me today. If something in these words has touched something within you, know that it was not by chance. I'll see you again on the next journey where the sky continues to whisper its quiet stories, and we continue to listen with still hearts and radiant inner light. Stay peaceful and walk forward with steady trust.